This series covers homosexuality and the topic of losing loved ones. Viewer discretion is advised. How the Lion Fell in Love with the Lamb. A Jacksepticeye and Matt Shea fanfic by Fanficgirlsgalore. Link in the description below. Chapter 5 After Ever After. Part 1. After New Year's, I stopped having to dream of me and Matt in Times Square. I didn't need to. I woke up every morning with him right beside me. We'd make breakfast together, go out together, walk together. We did everything together. For all my past girlfriends, I would do some of the things we did, but I never felt as happy as I did when I did them with Matt. He knew how to make me laugh, smile, and make my days 10 times better. When we told Felix that Matt and I were dating, he laughed and said he called it. Marcia congratulated us along with many other friends of ours. Some people weren't too thrilled about it, but we didn't care. A month after we started dating was when we decided to tell our fans, and we made a joint account where we uploaded vlogs of our daily lives while still carrying out our individual accounts. We were happy with what we had, and one day, about 3 years after we started dating, I decided to risk it all. I asked Matt to marry me. He started crying, and then joked about how he never thought a man would be on his knees proposing to him. I laughed at it, and after we both stopped laughing from his joke, he said yes. Our wedding would take place in 1 year during winter. We chose that season because that was when our romance first started to blossom. But we realized that the house we were currently living in was too small for our future together. So we moved across Ireland and bought a 2-story house with 5 bedrooms and 6 bathrooms. I fell in love with the house the minute I saw it. I knew how many memories we would make there. Not too long after we moved in, I came home from a friend's house and saw Matt standing with a big grin on his face in front of the staircase. When I asked him why he was so happy, he grabbed my hand, dragged me to the nearest bathroom, and told me to open it. When I did, I saw a baby Portuguese water dog. He was so precious, and I teared up and hugged Matt so hard, he almost choked. We decided on the name Tobias. Nothing really that exciting happened until our wedding day. I waited at the altar, and when I saw Matt, my heart skipped a beat. It almost felt like time stood still. He looked so handsome, and when he reached the altar and stood beside me, I couldn't wipe the grin off my face. After we said our I do's, we went on a week-long honeymoon in Canada, leaving Tobias in the care of Felix. A year after we got married, we decided that Tobias, who was now 3, needed a mate, so we brought home a 3-year-old bearded collie named Rose. They hit it off immediately. Every time we weren't walking or playing with them, they were playing with each other. About 6 months after we got her though, we found out she was having puppies. We were so overjoyed, but weren't sure what we were going to do with them. We decided to wait and see how many puppies she had first, before we choose to keep or sell them. As it turns out though, she ended up only having 4 puppies, and we decided we could handle taking care of them. However, we did make the sad decision to stop her daily flogging, so we could focus on a new family. A few more years down the road, we decided it was time to adopt a child of our own. We went to the nearest adoption centre and adopted a newborn baby boy, who had just been brought in. The receptionist warned us that it would be difficult, especially since there was no mother to breastfeed the child, but we wouldn't take no for an answer. When I first held him in my arms, I realised how much he looked like Matt. That's when I suggested naming him Matthias, and Matt was overfilled with joy. We brought him home and all the dogs loved him already. We put him in his crib that night, and when we went to leave we noticed one of Rose's pups, the only female whom we had named Aurora, were in the room already, laying on the floor. We tried to get her to leave, but she wouldn't budge. We let her stay there for the night, but she kept going back every night, and that's when we realised that she had chosen Matthias as her owner. We adopted another newborn after 2 years of fathering Matthias, but this one was a girl. We named her Aaliyah, simply because the name was beautiful. We wanted one of Rose's pups to want her to be their owner, so the first one that walked into her nursery was made her pup. After the adoption, Matt and I discussed that one of us had to stop making YouTube videos and go get a job in the city. Matt offered to do it since he finished medical school, and so a week after Eli's adoption, Matt quit his YouTube career. I kept making videos though. I did, until we adopted our other 2 twin boys, Dominic and Cam. After they joined our family, I quit YouTube so I could be a full-time parent. That was where my YouTube life ended, and my life took a 180-degree turn. But that wasn't the end yet. No, not even close to it. One summer day, when Matthias was 6, Aaliyah was 4, and Cam and Dominic were 1, something tragic happened. We were all outside in our front yard running around and playing. Me, Matt, our kids, and our 6 dogs. I had lost track of Tobias, and when I turned around and saw him running across the street chasing a squirrel, when a car came speeding down the road, hitting Tobias and killing him on impact. I cried for hours along with the rest of my family. Even the rest of the dogs seemed to know what was going on. We didn't adopt another dog after that. We couldn't deal with more tragedies. However, after a couple of years after Tobias had died, we noticed that Rose was getting old. She wasn't moving as much as she used to, and wouldn't eat unless we brought the food to her. We had to put her down, and when we came home, the house felt so empty. My original babies were now dead. I looked over at Matt that night in bed, and he was crying, and I couldn't help but join him. I hated watching our pets die, and before any of our kids even graduated high school, Aurora and the 3 male pups all died of old age. But the day finally came when our Matthias was graduating high school. We were so proud of him that we threw a party, inviting all of his and his siblings' classmates along with our own friends. We were happy to see Marcia and Felix there. They were married, and they managed to have 3 kids together, 2 girls and 1 boy. The eldest daughter was 17, named Luna. She always hung out with Matthias when they were near each other. After his graduation party was over and most of the people had left, I caught a glimpse of the 2 of them together. They were laughing together, and a smile broke out across my face when I saw the way they looked at each other. It was the same way I looked at Matt, and the way Marcia looked at Felix. They were in love.